Just where it was needed, gleaming dark as night, cloistered in justice, in the eye of time, nobody is losing, faces may change, but your face remains the same.
Welcome back to the shop, friends. We're still making progress on the treadle lathe. Today I'm working on the second upright, the joints in which it attaches to the two ways, the two horizontal pieces that attach the three uprights together. Let me bring you a little closer and I'll show you what we got. As you can see, I started without you and I cut the first housing on the second upright, and I'm currently working on the second one. What I've done here is I've made a series of kerfs in the position in which I want the housing, and now I'm getting ready to chisel that out. I went ahead and scored the line in which I want the wood to break, that way it doesn't tear out. We're going to have a 3-inch space in between the ways, and then this represents the housing in which the two ways will adjoin with the upright. So cutting these kerfs in the housing joint that we're getting ready to chisel out will make it much easier, and to knock those pieces of waste out, I'll just take my timber framing chisel and I'll go ahead and knock on each one of these with a chisel, and it should break those right out. Okay, so we have went ahead and we've chiseled along the top edge of the curves that we made. I can tell that the pieces are fairly loose. Now we'll take our chisel and see if we can break those out. I'm just going to come down along my knife wall and the kerf that I made with my chisel and see if it'll break out in that position. Okay, you can see that it's definitely rough where the wood broke out, but along the knife wall, we have no tear out there. So now we can just clean that up with a chisel. Let me take you to the other side as well. You can see the knife wall here, and there's no tear out below the knife wall that we created before actually chiseling out the joint. So now I'm just going to take my timber framing chisel and just clean out some of this waste down to the knife walls, or the knife lines that we created. I spun the upright around, that way I can clean up on the second, on the opposite side of the upright. I didn't want to get tear out by pushing my chisel all the way through the joint. So now I'm going to come right down to my knife line that I've created and start cleaning up, going the opposite direction.
A significant life, just what it was needed. Clean in the blackest night, cloistered in injustice dead. And in the eyes of time, nobody is losing. The sparrows will be here by dawn. When we find this over, they'll be gone. The trees will bloom and eyes will melt. We'll always remember how it felt.
Okay, so that took a little finagling, but it did fit very tight. It's a little bit tighter than I want it to be, so once I get it back apart, I'm gonna pare down the joint a little bit, as I want it to have just enough wiggle room that then I can get the tenons on each of the ends of the ways into the mortise on the other two uprights. Let me bring you a little closer and I'll show you what we have. Okay, so you're looking at the two ways, the two horizontal pieces that connect each of the uprights. These two tenons will connect to the left, or the number 1 upright. The second joint, which is the second upright, and the two ways attach using a housing. And you can see that the way fits into the upright in a housing, and then the way itself has a housing as well that fits onto the upright. That leaves just over 3 inches between the two ways, which will allow for the tool rest to fit in, and also the headstock and tailstock will be built to move within between the two ways. And then at the end will be where the third upright will be, which will be connected using those two tenons there. This project is definitely going slower than I anticipated. Using hand tools with this red oak is certainly a slow process. Plus, I'm sort of building it as I go, and I made my own plans. So please bear with me, it's taking a little bit longer than I had anticipated. On the next video, we will be cutting the mortise, the two mortises on each of the other two uprights, which will connect to the ways as well. And then we'll proceed to cutting the tenons at the bottom of the uprights that will mate to the feet. So we're certainly making progress on the frame of the lathe. It's taking a little longer than I had planned, but that's okay. I'm enjoying the process, and I hope you are too. So anyhow, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.